Have we literally just given up? I don't know. Well, joining me to analyse this is David Coleman, Professor of Demography at the Department of Social Policy and Intervention at the University of Oxford. David, how is it possible that there are 80,000 people here that we know of illegally, 11,000 of them criminals, some serious, and yet we're doing a few random checks by telephone on them? What the hell is going on?
Well, there are two things. The big thing that's going on is the government's relative neglect and indifference to the problem of migration and the inadequacy of resources. The second point is, of course, we have to be careful. This is being boring. We don't know if it really is 80,000. We don't know how many. It is up to 80,000. Let's be fair. Part of the problem is COVID. It's not really explained to us what role COVID has played. Is it making depredations into the number of effective immigration officers but by making them ill? Or is it precautions in the offices which make it impossible to interview people? I'd be surprised about the latter, because after all, we see GPs occasionally, we go shopping, we go to concerts. All these things can be done in safety. And part of the problem, I think, is going to be the problem with the Channel. I understand that about 250 officers have been moved to the Channel ports in order to, in theory, control the arrival of illegal immigrants over the water. In practice, of course, to facilitate their arrival. And that, of course, has depleted the number of people available to see the foreign convicted persons in person. But even when they do get in touch with them, the inspector reported very unfavourably on what was then happening, pointing out that they weren't properly interrogated, that data weren't properly collected, records weren't being correctly preserved. And so what little was done seemed to be extremely badly done.
David, do you understand why this is the only news channel taking this seriously, that even our newspapers, even our tabloid newspapers, in a week when a fifth migrant that we know of in 1 week has been found dead on the French side of the Channel, when over 500 came yesterday, and all right, it's a bit early for today, but it'll be 500 again today, I suspect. I mean, you said the government are indifferent to this. Perhaps one of the reasons they're indifferent is they're not getting any media pressure. Why are the media? Do you have any theories, any thoughts as to why the media simply don't want to cover this?
The only theories, part of the reason is that we're probably bored with migration. Another problem is that people imagine, after all the rhetoric to do with Brexit, that migration is not just being controlled, which could be controlled upwards, of course, but is being reduced, which it isn't. And under present plans, it's more likely to go up than go down. But people, I think, are still, to a large but decreasing extent, persuaded that things are, in some sense, under control because we've done Brexit. And also, there always has been, more or less, an indifference and a distaste on the part of some sections of the media, and certainly sections of the political class, to even think about or talk about migration. It is not a nice subject.
Yeah, distasteful. Too distasteful, not in front of the children, it's all too much.